Hello, welcome everyone. Hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys are doing great. Ready for Mathis's route. Finally, we are starting on the individual routes. Hello Nimby, hello Biyuko. I hope you guys are doing well. I am so excited for this. I heard these routes are really good. I am going in route order because this game is very story heavy. So the route order from what I've seen is Mathis, I think Xian, and then Lucas. So I do know Mathis is first. We're gonna do one full playthrough of it, and then we'll see whatever ending I get, no walkthrough. And then after that, I'll use a walkthrough to try and get the other endings. How about you? I'm doing really great. The beginning of the week, my birthday stream is on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. Gonna pick up my cake in Wednesday morning and get ready for that. I'm very excited. It's gonna be the first time I stream for like 12 hours straight, so pray for me, please. I have a lot of things planned for it, so I cannot wait for that. Besides that, pretty good. I recently got back into Idolmaster Side M, and I love my idol boys so much. I listen to all the Sims music on Spotify on repeat like crazy, and I will do so after stream. But yeah, we are starting Mathis's route, our cute guy who is trying to avenge his brother. Last time at the end of the general route, we did see there makes be more than one Barreau, the killer. Because it was kind of weird. Someone definitely poured all that acid on the character, and we don't know who. But the person talking at the end sounded like Mother, so now suspicion is put onto Mother. I'm not sure how that's going to play off, because they put that there for a reason. They're making us suspicious of her, but I'm not sure she's a horrible person, or she did that for a specific reason, but we'll all see. But yeah, we're going to officially start Mathis's route. Yes, we are starting. I can't wait. I have no clue how long the routes are either. I definitely should check that, but we'll see. Me?
もしや海を渡る船をお探しでならば私にお任せを
Alright.
相応の代価さえいただけるなら私はいかなる手段を使っても
What do you want? I feel like exchanging my life would be too easy of an answer.
あなたをこの呪われた国から解き放って差し上げましょう
Oh. Hello? What do you mean, young Mathis? Bro was locked up? What? I bruised my knees as I'm at the same cold floor I had landed on countless times before. But what felt truly cold wasn't my hands, and what truly hurt wasn't my knees. Did Bro's parents torture him as a kid? Oh, don't do that to me. Okay, his parents are far worse than I expected. Something cold and painful lay deep inside my chest in the darkness, and... Bro, no wonder he loved his brother so much. The light that lit, it was always the same. It was a small light from a kind soul.
Mathis.
Oh, don't do this. Bro, I was thinking they're not gonna start his route off all horrible and angsty, right? I guess not. They really did. He gave me a bright and gentle smile, no different from usual. His warmth was my one and only light.
Yo, Mathis. 今日も元気に泣いてるか？
ダメだよ、兄さん。父様たちに見つかったらまた
殴られるって？俺を殴ってお前の暴力
Oh, don't do that.
別に構わないさ。たく、父さんも母さんも力ずくの教育に意味はないってわかんないもんかな。
僕が殴られるのは僕の出来が悪いから だから父様たちは
Oh.
悪
Oh
く
no.
ない悪いのは父様たちをイラつかせる僕なんだ
Okay, so obviously, young Mathis is so used to this treatment, he just automatically thinks it's his fault. He's the reason why he's getting treated like this. That is so sad as hell. His parents are so much worse than I expected. In the general route, they just talked about how his parents were cruel to him and not their brother. They didn't say they locked their child in the basement and beat him like crazy.
はあ、お前な。はいはい、お二人とも。のんびりお話しするのは一度おやめください。
John was with him this whole
ま
time.
ずはそれよりも優先すべきことがあるでしょ。おっと、そうだった。なあマティス、お前腹減ってるだろ。俺たちの優秀な執事が厨房から貴重な食料を盗み出してくれたんだ。
It was just them three.
大げさに褒めないでください。パン1個をかすめ取るのが精一杯だったのですから。本当はお腹いっぱい食べたいでしょうに。力不足ですみません、坊ちゃん。
来てくれるだけでも十分嬉しいよ。
それならよかった。そうだ、差し入れはこれだけじゃないんですよ。ランプにほら、これも。
これってもしかして。
そう、俺の新作小説だ。
Aww.
やっぱり読んでいいの？
そのために持ってきたんだからいいに決まってるだろ。俺もまだ読ませてもらっていないんです。じゃあ
みんなで読もうよ。いいよね、兄さん。
もちろん。でも一緒に読むとなるともう少しくっつかないとな。ほら、来いよマティス。3人ぴったりになればこんな場所でも寒くないはずだぜ。
Okay, can I get the end of the flashback, please? They'll give me more sadness. A gentle light shining in a dark room. The light slowly melted my freezing chest with each passing second. The light in the darkness was orange? Bright as the sun. No. Golden. His golden wavy hair. His brilliance captivated my sight. Ooh, there's that little staticky sound again. Was Mathis just reminiscing? Oh, we're still stuck on the other pove. Jesus! So, yeah, we can really tell why Mathis really cared about his brother. All we heard was like Mathis recounting, but actually seeing it happen in action, considering how Mathis's parents treated him, yeah, very even more understandable why he wanted to get revenge on Barreau. As night fell over the district, it took on a new energy, different from daytime. People at the bar were enjoying the end of a long day, exchanging laughter over swigs of their drinks. Some laughed heartily, while others drowned themselves into a drunken stupor. But some of the women there spoke charming words in a hollow voice.
あら？あんた、ここに来るのは久々じゃない？
そういうあんたこそ、初めて来る場所じゃある前に、嫌にコソコソしてたじゃないの。
あんたは気にしてないの？最近、前にも増して面倒な輩が増えてきてるでしょ？
気にしてるに決まってるでしょ？
なんだ、あんたもだったの。あれ以来、街の雰囲気も悪くなったしね。気持ちはわかるわ。
あれ以来って、変死事件のことよね。今までだって陽気で楽しい国だなんて思ってなかったけど。
Ooh, I forgot to add. Hold on. I forgot to affect my model. I gotta remember to do that now since I've started. Give me a sec, chat. Like 1 minute. There we go. Cute little outline so I stand out a bit more.
ここ最近は陰鬱なんてもんじゃないわね。 特にこの衛兵なんか、あの殺人鬼に面目を潰された苛立ちを私たちで解消しようとするし。
Right, so this is after Barreau dying by the acid. We don't know who did it. And then they had like a newspaper article talking about it. So everyone assumes Barreau has been killed / caught at this point.
ねえ、私もうこの商売やめようかしら。
今さらやめて何になるっていうの？あんただってリライバーになるためにやってるんでしょ？
リライバーになったって永遠に軽蔑されながら生き続けるだけじゃない。
まあ、あんたの言いたいことはわかるけどさ、ちょっと極端すぎじゃないの？あ、そうだ。せめて諦めるのはこの話を試してからにしたらどう？
A drug?
実は私ね、ちょっとした噂を聞いたの。この国のどこかに金さえ払えば外の国まで無事に届けてくれる
Oh.
素敵な配達人がいるって噂。
I thought we haven't heard anything from the deliverer in a while. So there is a rumor about them out there. Okay. We gotta keep that info in our back pocket. Looks like we're back to regular Pove. This place is as big as I remember it. I was at the Claude family home, which it hadn't been in to some time. I looked up so high that it sort of hurt my neck. I looked to the left, then to the right, and let out a sigh at the majestically large mansion. I never expected to return here for this reason. Some time had passed since the tragedy. Upon first glance, it seemed like peace had been restored to my daily life, but... Mother, where should we start?
そうね。とはいえ、私たちの手でどうにかできるものでもないわね。
We took a long look at our storage shed. No, to be precise, we're looking at the wreckage of what was once a storage shed. Last night, a storm struck and caused damage to the orphanage, especially the storage. I suppose we're lucky that only the main building windows were broken.
そうね。どのみち倉庫は老朽化していたから、建て直さなくちゃと思っていたし。
But wasn't the firewood we chopped a few days ago inside here too?
ええ。すっかり水を吸ってしまっているわ。他に
Ooh.
も食料庫に入りきらなかった食材も置いてあったから困ったわね。ご飯食べられなくなっちゃうの？
Ugh. I turned around to see the children gathering behind Mother's back and staring at the pile of rubble with curious eyes. That was surprising. I had gotten somewhat closer to Milo since the incident, but I never expected the other children to approach me this closely. I did my best to hide my surprise and try to stay calm. We have food to eat, but we may have to ration for the time being.
そんな。
I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to get food for everyone. Enjoying a meal was one of the most enjoyable times for the children. They were still growing, so I wasn't surprised that they were dissatisfied by the news. Everyone. I began to speak to them calmly, to help them process the situation when... Is that a car coming? A familiar electric car stopped in front of the orphanage. The door opened, and out came...
おはようございます。いえ、今
Hello!
回の場合はお久しぶりですと言うべきでしょうか。
John? I was surprised by the unexpected visitor. After telling Mother who arrived, I quickly headed out to greet him. It really has been a while. I believe the last time was when we all stayed over. So what brings you to Cohen today?
ええ、他でもないあなたへの。
Me? Hmm? When I tilted my head, John gave a graceful bow.
改めまして、 あの騒動の折は我が主が本当にお世話になりました。坊ちゃんが無事に俺の元に戻ってきてくれたのも皆様の尽力があってこそ。我が主に代わり心からお礼を申し上げます。
Oh. My memory of it suddenly returned. That day, when we drove after Barreau through Cohen, the first thing that came to mind was Barreau's horrifying death. Please, no need to bow. I haven't done anything worth thinking.
いえいえ、あなたの言葉と存在があったからこそ、坊ちゃんは無茶を通して命を散らさずに済んだのです。
If that's the case, then Eves and the others are more deserving of your thanks for protecting Mathis. So, is that why you came out to Cohen today?
ねえ、先ほどはリュカス先生へとお伺いさせていただきました。この後はイブさんたちの元へと向かう予定です。さすがに特殊な場所に住まわれているシアン様にはお会いできませんでしたが。
It doesn't seem like he ever leaves the Institute, or even his room for that matter. Oh, wait. Mathis isn't with you? I didn't see anyone else sitting in the car. Is Mathis alright? Cause seeing the person he wanted revenge on for killing his brother just being melted by acid definitely is traumatizing. So he's probably stuck at home for a bit.
はい。本来なら当事者である坊ちゃんが直接ご挨拶に伺うべきだと俺も分かっているのですが。ところで、あちらの建物の惨状は一体？もしや昨日の嵐の影響で？
Yeah, we're lucky that no one got hurt.
それでもこのありさまではお困りでしょう。大きな倉庫のようですし、食材や生活必需品なども保管していたのでは？
Definitely was.
あら、一別しただけなのによくお分かりになりましたわね。
John thought for a moment as Mother walked up to me after having the children go back inside the orphanage.
おや、あなたは。
Ah, I don't think you two have met before. She's...
この施設の責任者、シスター・サロメです。あなたが噂の有能な執事様ね。お会いできて嬉しいわ。クロード家の方には昔、少しだけお世話に。
John?
私の顔に何かついているかしら？
Is something suspicious about Mother?
ああ、これは失礼しま
Nah,
した。
that was kinda suspicious, dude.
血縁関係がないというのに、彼女とどことなく雰囲気が似ていらっしゃるなと。
Just as I was about to ask about it. What was that? The remainder of the storage shed collapsed. Are you serious, bro? Can we even salvage anything inside it?
あらあら。まあまあ。
It was already in bad condition, but now there wasn't much left of it. It seems too dangerous to venture in. So maybe we should give up on gathering what was inside.
というよりもこれは修理するよりも一層一から立て直した方が安く済むのでは？
Yeah, this one's toasted. I think we just gotta get rid of it for now.
それはもっともなのだけど、立て直すにしても十分なお金を確保するまでどのぐらい待つことになるか。
なんだ、そういうことでしたら、俺たちの方から新しい倉庫をお送りしましょう。
Hmm? We must have looked very similar in that moment, with the same surprised expressions. John held up a finger as if it was nothing. Okay, so that's where we're gonna go back to Mathis's place. Oh, so you weren't kidding. The Claw family is going to fund the removal and construction of a new storage unit. We had invited John into the orphanage so as not to linger out in front. While serving him tea, we inquired about what he meant by his generous offer, and found that it was just as he said.
ねえ、さすがに後ほど坊ちゃんの許可を取る必要はありますが、 坊ちゃんの金銭感覚のことです。この程度、軽く出してくださるでしょう。
That sounds like something to worry about.
そうね。お気遣いはありがたいし、クロード家が裕福だということは知っているけれど、さすがにそんな無償の奉仕を無条件で受けるわけにはいかないわ。修理は私の方で。
ああ、いえいえ。何も無償でとは申しません。
What did you have in mind? What terms?
実に簡単なことですよ。
John enjoyed the aroma of the tea, then set it down on the table with a refined smile on his face.
しばらく我が屋敷でメイドとして働いてみる気はありませんか？
Oh,
メイド？
you mean me? But I thought you handled everything for the Claude family. So why would you want to hire a maid now?
実はお恥ずかしいことに、俺は執事と名乗っておきながら、一番の役目とも言え
You
る
need someone to make your
料理
meals.
がそれ
Okay.
ほど得意ではないのです。
Huh? That's surprising. I always saw you as someone who could do anything, John.
俺も万能ではありませんから。
He went on to explain that he knew how to cook, but the results were neither good nor bad, just simply bland. Did you use spices, sir? I'm sure that would help a lot.
とはいえ、調理済みの料理はシュディのマルシェにも売っていますし、必要な栄養さえしっかり取れていれば、俺も坊ちゃんも味に頓着することはなかったんです。
だとしたら、どうして今になってこの子をメイドに？
それは、彼女の手料理が坊ちゃんの心を確かに打ったからに他ありません。
Me?
ブロー。
Yeah, there it is.
彼の死により、晴れるどころか、新たな悲しみを得てしまった坊ちゃんの心を。どうかあなたの温かな手料理で、癒していただきたいのです。
John, who was in a pleasant mood earlier, looked despondent now. He stared at the gentle movement of his tea for a moment before continuing in earnest. Okay, yeah, obviously Mathis is still thinking about this whole situation. I heard about what happened to Barreau. I also heard how he caused those unusual deaths, and that peace returned to Chetas and Cohen. But
兄の仇である殺人鬼があんなにもあっさりと殺されたことに、坊ちゃんは気力をすっかり失われてしまって、
Joe, what do you mean?
今ではまるで抜け殻同然。ぼーっとしたまま最低限の飲食しかせず。
I didn't think it would affect him that much. I thought maybe he's a bit depressed but still eats and stuff like that, but not this, dear God. Okay, yeah, we have to help Mathis out immediately.
自室にずっとこもられているんです。このままではいつ自死を選んでも
Jesus!
おかしくなくて。
Is that bad? Dear God. Okay. Mathis can't catch a break. I recalled how his fearful eyes were locked onto Barreau's unexpected death. At the sight of his brother's killer suffering, Mathis's voice was absent of any joy. Instead, he gazed on as if he was gazing at despair itself. I see. Mathis was dedicated to finding Barreau for so long. After what happened, we dispersed so that we could avoid the crowds, so I didn't see the full extent of how shaken he was. If only I had reached out to him then. I can only regret that I didn't do so.
坊ちゃんを励まそうにも、敵討ちに反対していた俺が紡ぐ言葉に説得力などあるはずもなく、ならばいっそ 坊ちゃんの笑顔を自然に引き出してみせた友人であるあなたにかけてみたい。
Me?
いかがでしょう。どうか我が主を救っていただけませんか。
Working for the Claude family. I was surprised when he brought it up, but after hearing the details, I became more worried about Mathis and his situation. To add,
それらの死に君にとって大切なものの魂を奪われ、この私に冥界へと導かれたくはないだろう。
John mentioned the word suicide, reminded me of Uncle's warning. There is no way I could leave Mathis alone, especially now that I knew about his current condition. Which was why I glanced at Mother and waited for her nod of approval. I understand. If there is any way I can help, I'd be more than happy to accept your offer. With that, I accepted John's request. With Mother by my side, we discussed how long I will be employed by the Claude family and how to manage my work at the orphanage. It was doubtful that the service I provided would be enough to pay off the cost of rebuilding the storage space, but we entered into a contract that outlined my responsibilities in cooking and assisting John with other chores if time allowed. I wonder if it was okay to do all of that without Mathis's input. Then again, now that I was here, it was too late to think about it.
ようこそクロード家へ。新たな同僚を心から歓迎します。
Thank you for the warm welcome. I really appreciate it.
ですが、住み込みで働いていただけないことだけが残念です。
Oh, I would stay. John, who had been waiting my arrival, led me into the guest room. I lowered my head apologetically at the sight of his disappointment. I'm not sure how much you know, but... well, it's best that I keep my distance for various reasons.
あの夜、私は君の自死を止めた
Right, right.
とある術を君の身にかけ、一時的に死神としての力を抑え込むことに成功した。しかし、この術にも限界がある。一定期間が過ぎ効果が切れれば、
You'll tell me when that time happens, right?
君はまた人に死を招く死神に戻ってしまうだろう。
My powers were currently being suppressed by Onkos. He also mentioned that my curse would return to full strength once the spell wore off. I didn't know how long it would last, so I felt that I shouldn't spend much time with the same people for too long. Alright, that's why we want to go travel back and forth.
そんな顔をされないでください。例の噂については、もちろん俺も把握していますが、根拠のない噂に踊らされるほど愚かなつもりはありませんから。ということで気兼ねなく、こちらの服に着替えてください。
With that, John lifted the lid of a small wooden chest on the table beside him. Maid outfit? Is that my uniform?
ええ、急ぎ仕立て屋で購入してきました。屋敷で仕事をするときは、基本的にそれを身につけてください。
Understood. Should I go and introduce myself to Mathis once I've changed into this?
少々悩むところですが、そうですね。さすがに何も知らないままだと、坊ちゃんも驚いてしまうでしょうし。
You didn't tell Mathis that I would be working here.
教えてしまうと、情けない姿を見られたくないと、より一層引きこもってしまう気がしまして。 ここは先手を打っておき、事後承諾という形で納得していただこうかと。
Are you sure? That sounds forceful. He waved his hand to say it should be okay. John gently pushed my back and led me to one of the rooms so I could change into my uniform. Can I see the outfit, please? Mathis's pove? Oh, please, 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 please let him be alright. I know he's not, but please, give me some kind of shining light in this poor boy's life. I wonder how much time had passed. What was happening? What was I doing here? Why did I have this book in my hand? I gazed at the words. They used to bring me excitement, but I felt nothing at all. Maybe I should just die and forget about everything. Just as I was daydreaming of that future. The faint light that shone from the window became stronger. Oh! Maid uniform? Through the white curtains is a nostalgic golden shadow flickered. Oh. Okay, I get it. Look at the maid uniform, it's so pretty. Mathis? I quietly ascended the stairs to the attic as John looked on from the first floor. I saw Mathis sitting on the floor with a blank look on his face, so I crouched down in front of him. He wasn't reading the book in his hand. He was in a daze, and his eyes were a lot duller than I expected. It's been a while, Mathis. He didn't respond. I knew the situation, so I continued as though he could hear what I was saying. I heard everything from John. You haven't been out of your room for a while, right? I know I can't force you, so maybe you can at least have a decent meal from now. I tried to raise my voice a little, but he didn't respond. I was starting to become anxious. Seeing him blink so infrequently, it made me wonder whether he was even breathing properly. I knew it. Trying to avoid discussing the obvious isn't registering much of a reaction. Then again, it probably wasn't a good idea to mention Barreau, or else things might go downhill quickly. What should I do? Confused, I decided to say his name again when... Is he acknowledging me? His eyelids twitched. Hey, buddy. Oh, don't do that. Is he calling his brother's name? I could barely hear what he just said in a weak voice, but I wasn't letting the opportunity get away. He was actually looking at me now. Mathis, do you know who I am? I touched his shoulder gently and spoke his name. Hi! Mathis, thank goodness. He finally looked me in the eye.
どうしてあなたがここに？それにその服いつものと違いますよね。
He was still somewhat in a daze, but he was definitely not daydreaming anymore. I spoke with relief after hearing his sensible response. Explaining everything might take a while, but... I gave him a brief explanation that I was going to start working here, while bracing for his reaction.
メイドってそんなダメです。あなたにだって施設での仕事があるのに、僕なんかのために。
Oh, she's so precious.
そんな申し訳ないこと。
Mathis spoke meekly as he looked away from me. It was a bit sad to see him acting as though we had only just met.
なのでわざわざ来てくれたのにごめんなさい。これ以上あなたにご迷惑をおかけする前にこのお話はなかったことに。
Wait a moment, Mathis. I'm not all that bothered in the slightest, so... Before I could finish my sentence, I heard a strange growl. Is that his stomach? Huh? You? The adorable sound was coming from Mathis's stomach. Are you...
その
His abject expression was slowly tinted in red.
空気が読めなくてごめんなさい。
It's fine, you're cute, so you can do that. He must have been really embarrassed, as he quickly raised the book he had opened earlier up to his face to hide himself. CG? Gonna bless me? His actions reminded me of when we first met. It wasn't that long ago, but it already felt like it was something from the distant past. You're hungry, aren't you?
そうかもしれないです。
Knowing that trying to stay silent wouldn't help, Mathis finally confessed his hunger. I heard you haven't had an appetite for a while now. Did something change?
それは当然のことかと。
Huh?
だってあなたの姿を見たら、いやでもあの美味しい料理のことを思い出してしまうじゃないですか。
He then began to pout, as if it was unfair of me to do so. I'm actually happy to know that you liked my cooking. Well then, how about I get some breakfast ready? We can talk later once you've had something to eat.
いら
You're gonna say you don't want it? It's one thing to have no appetite, but refusing a good meal when you're hungry is different.
はい。
Now I just scolded this poor child. I quickly prepared a simple breakfast, then headed back to his room. Don't, bro, please, we just had a convo. Don't go back to that situation, please. Oh, I swear to God. Mathis was staring at a knife in his hand as I entered the room. That's what he used against Barreau. A weapon he held close to him for the purpose of revenge. Mathis wasn't showing any signs of using it. He only stared at it blankly. Seeing his face, devoid of any expression, was terribly painful to watch. Mathis? Hearing me call his name, Mathis quickly looked up.
ごめんなさい。すぐにしまいます。
Can we trust him with knives at this point? No. If you want, you can keep the knife next to me while you eat.
でも
It feels strange not to have it with you, right? Of course, it's a different story if you're planning on cutting me with it.
絶対にそんなことはしません。
then there's no reason for you to put it away, right? I don't care what's around us, as long as you eat your meal properly, Mathis. Oh, there's that cute smile.
ありがとうございます。
With the serving tray in hand, I sat next to Mathis.
服が汚れちゃいますよ。
John said it wouldn't be a problem because I'm going to be working in these clothes. I then set the tray down in front of him. I heard you weren't eating much, so I decided to make a light soup that will be gentle on your stomach. It would be better if I could replicate Eve's dish, but his cooking is, well, a bit too difficult for a novice like me. Warm, white steam rose from the bowl on the tray. Come on. Mathis looked at the soup and hesitated for a moment.
いただきます。
He dipped the soup spoon into the clear broth and had a tiny sip. Suddenly, is it good? Mathis's eyes visibly shook. He took another spoonful. Seeming to have regained his appetite, he drank more and more of the soup until... Oh, stop! Don't! A single drop. A teardrop. His tear rolled down his cheek into the soup.
美味しい。本当に美味しい。あの時と同じ。あの時以上の優しくて温かい味です。
More tears began to flow. Mathis didn't stop to dry his eyes as he continued drinking the soup.
急に泣いたりしてごめんなさい。なんだかあなたの作ったスープを飲んだら、これが平穏な日常の象徴なんだなって自分でも驚くぐらいに痛感してしまって。
I see. Mathis roughly dried the tears from his face with his sleeve.
きっと僕は兄さんの仇があんなにもあっさりと死んでしまったことを未だに信じることができていないんだと思います。
Mathis chuckled with self-scorn. I responded. There's nothing strange about what you said. I mean, your brother was someone very important to you, right?
はい。兄さん。
There we go.
神優は僕にはもったいないぐらいの立派、僕にとっての生きる希望。血のつながった家族の中で唯一僕を愛してくれた眩しい光。
But that ray of hope was extinguished by violence.
顔がわからなくなるほど
Ooh,
全ての刃で
right.
刻まれ殺されてしまった兄さん。必ず奴に兄さんが味わった苦痛を何千倍にして返してやると僕は誓っていたのに終わってしまった。それも
どこの誰かもわからない。他人の手によって。それが悔しくて、悔しくて。いっそ、ブローがまだ生きていて、他の誰かを殺してくれれば、僕は、もう一度、復讐に挑むための正当な理由や気力を、得ることができるのに。
His expression warped. I could tell what he was going to say next.
って、ついさっきまでは思っていたんです。でも、もしその願いが叶っていたら、この優しいスープを作ってくれたあなたも、あなたに料理を教えてくれた人も、奴によって殺されていたかもしれない。そんなことにも気がつかないで、自分の復讐のために誰かが死ぬことを願うなんて、僕は本当に自分勝手で愚かですよね。
Oh, we save. What would be the best option for this video? Yeah, save here. I don't think you're selfish. Don't look down on yourself. Oof. No walkthrough, no walkthrough. Oh, doing no walkthrough is so nerve-wracking because I don't want to mess up. But if I get angst, I guess that's fine. I don't think you're selfish. Don't look down on yourself. Soul read. What do I think works best in this scenario? What would I say in this scenario? Don't look down on yourself? Probably the wrong choice. Let me think. He says he wished Moreau was still out there killing, but he realized that's horrible because that means more people would die. Does that make me selfish? I don't think you're selfish. I don't think in a vacuum that way he thought about that is bad because he obviously recognizes it's bad. It's just him in the moment with all of his feels, everything he can't really process. So I don't think you're... Oh, wrong button. Oh, never mind. It wasn't wrong button. Do I do it right? I think what you said is dangerous. But I don't think you're foolish or selfish, Mathis. Someone truly selfish doesn't think about how they might affect others.
そんなの詭弁ですよ。
But I think I'm telling the truth. To add, if anything, I'm the one who's selfish here. As death, I brought a lot of misfortune to others. And each time something happened, I think, I wish it was someone else doing. I wish it happened far away so I could prove it wasn't at fault. My own wishes were selfish, trying to excuse myself from events that happened because of me. Mathis stopped criticizing himself the moment he heard my response. We're completely different because I've killed people while you haven't. Furthermore, a person couldn't be selfish if they could actually feel for others based on imagination alone. If you still regret what happened, why don't you wish for something else now, so that your earlier wish doesn't come true? For example, you can wish that Barreau won't return, and that those you care about can live their lives in peace. Mathis froze for a moment at my suggestion.
そんな単純な。
There are no tears in his eyes as he smiled.
でも、あなたの言う通りですね。無理やり自分を納得させるのではなく、まずは前向きなことを願うことから始めてみます。
With that, Mathis held the spoon in his hand and brought more soup to his mouth.
少し冷めても美味しい。
Oh,
やっぱりバカだな。
I'm glad he's perking up a bit.
もしブローが生きていたら、こんなに美味しい料理を食べられなくなっていたかもしれない。そんな簡単なことにも気づけなかっただなんて。
He then asked for a second helping of the healing food that had been available to him all along. Oh, thank God. Okay. Mathis doesn't seem too bad now. Probably still slightly depressed, but so much better than before. We just gotta keep it up. I finished cleaning up after the simple meal and gave him some water to drink. He was able to drink the soup without a problem, so I believe he could eat solids starting tomorrow. As I thought about what kind of ingredients to use, I brought up the next subject. Mathis, what are you planning on doing from now on?
しばらくは通信教育を受けつつ、心を整理しようかと思ってます。
Correspondence course.
結局、屋敷にこもることには変わりないんですが、急に外へ出かけたりしたら、それはそれでジャンを心配させてしまうかなと。
Mathis was glancing at a number of times in the direction where John was probably waiting downstairs. I could easily imagine John pacing at the base of the stairs, waiting for results. I see. John was somewhat sad when he came to the orphanage. I think you'll feel more at ease if you stay nearby for now. In any case, you should recover to full health first.
はい。あ、よかったら、食事の際は、ジャンの好物も作ってあげてください。
Ooh.
意外かもしれませんが、油っぽいお
おー
肉料理が好きみたいなので。
I did not see that one. I thought maybe he's like a fish person, but oily meat dishes. That is surprising. Judging by his slender body and graceful manners, I always saw him as someone who preferred vegetable dishes.
ですよね。本人もクロード家の羊として品がないって隠すというか我慢しているみたいで。でも日頃から迷惑をかけている分、こんな時ぐらい好きなものを食べさせてあげたいんです。
坊ちゃんにもしものことがあったら、俺にはもうこの世で生きていく理由がありません。
I've thought this before, but you and John are really like a family. I hope that's not disrespectful to the memory of your brother.
いいえ、嬉しいです。僕にとってジャンは兄さんの親友であり、もう一人の兄、唯一残された大切な家族ですから。
Oh, game, please don't do anything to John. Please, please, please.
こんな情けない僕に寄り添ってくれること、ずっと感謝してます。
I'm sure John would be happy to hear that.
だといいんですけど。で、そうだ。ジャンにも改めてお礼を言わないと。あなたみたいな優しくて素敵なメイドさんを僕の元に連れてきて、立ち直るきっかけをくれたんですから。
Hmm? My maid outfit was a bit dusty now, but Mathis's face was slightly red after looking at me from top to bottom. Mathis, do you mean that I have your approval to work here? Is that right?
本音を言えば、迷惑をかけたくないという感情の方がまだ強いです。けど、 その
Mathis suddenly picked up a sheet of white paper. On it, he quickly wrote something with a pen.
これ
Hmm? He showed me the paper filled with words written in beautiful script. Is this a contract? The contract contained all the terms and conditions that John outlined for me regarding my employment here. He actually remembered every detail from my explanation. As I looked at the contract in surprise. I noticed he added a new item into my work conditions. Mathis held onto the edge of the paper nervously and squeezed out a new request.
あなたと少しでも多く一緒にお話できる機会と時間を
Oh, he didn't have to write
僕
that.
にください
I'd always do that for you. He read what he wrote as a new item on the contract. Mathis.
ごめんなさい一度断っておきながらずうずうしいですよねでもあなたと話しているととても心が穏やかになるから後ろめたさよりもそんな欲求というか感情の方が勝ってしまったんですどうか僕が前を向けるまで
Mm-hmm.
この内容で再契約してもらえませんか
His wish was for a peaceful future and harmony in his daily life. It was a sign of his determination that he would raise his head and move forward. Well, this is a very nice condition. I took the contract and pen from him and signed my name with finality. There was probably only one answer I could give to the shy master of this house. If you don't mind a troublesome maid like me, it will be my pleasure. I will do my very best in the time we're together. Master Claude.
え坊ちゃんどうして急に
坊ちゃん
変えるんですか
I mean, you are my Bochon now, right? But now that I'm your maid, shouldn't I address you properly as a form of respect?
そんな細かいことまで気にしなくていいんです今まで通り普通に呼んでください
But
そんな顔をしても嫌です受け入れてくれないなら契約書の項目に今まで通りの態度で接すること
oh, he's so cute like this. He's really perking up. Bro, okay, bro, we're so funny. Any situation, he's like, okay, I'm just gonna write this in the contract and you're gonna have to do it. Thank goodness. If he was able to raise his voice like this, he would surely be fine moving forward. Later, after several more bowls of soup, Mathis came down the stairs in an apologetic manner. When John embraced him with such strength, I couldn't help but notice how happy he was. They really are like brothers. John thought that my foster mother and I were similar, but I felt it applied to them too. They do feel similar in a lot of ways. Or maybe it's just that Mathis slowly became similar to John throughout the years. I would have believed them if they had initially introduced themselves as brothers. After that, John led me around the mansion and explained my work in practical terms, and I made some more soup for us for dinner. With my first full day of work to start tomorrow, I got changed and went outside.
本当に徒歩で帰るんです
By myself?
通りも暗いですし僕でよければ 車で送っていきますけど。
Drive. I don't think so, considering last time. It's fine. There are still a lot of people outside, so I'm sure I'll be fine. You still have to get more rest, so please, don't worry, Mathis. Oh, he definitely knows about how Mathis drives. Seeing how desperate I was to avoid Mathis's offer, John gets my attentions and let out a chuckle.
坊ちゃんの代わりに俺が送りたいところですが、あいにくこの後私的な用事がありまして、お役に立てず申し訳ない。
No, you've helped me a lot today. With everything in the mansion, John.
あなたは飲み込みが早く、教えがいもあるので、俺としても有意義な時間を過ごせましたよ。はあ、それにしても、住み込みでないのが本当に惜しい。
Bro, are you trying to guilt trip me to move in?
どうか今からでも検討してはいただけませんか？坊ちゃんのそばに常にあなたがいてくれれば、俺も安心できるのですが。
Thank you for saying so, but...
もう、じゃあ、彼女が困ってるじゃないか。それに、女性に同居を迫るなんて、あの人に知られたら誤解されるんじゃ。
John suddenly stepped back to create some distance from me. You know who? Who? Eves? Who are you talking about?
ああ、そっか。あなたには言っていませんでしたね。
Does John have a fiance?
実は、ジャンには。
何を心に決めた。
Oh my god!
の女性がいるのです。
Oh no, that's so cute, John. Wait, please gossip with me. How is she? Why do you love her? Oh my god, don't do that to me. Huh? Love? As in... You have a lover, John?
ええ、すでに将来まで。
Oh my god, that's so cute! Bro, please let us meet her. Oh, double E game, do not kill off John. Do not do this to me.
彼女は俺にはもったいないぐらいの美しい女性でして。
Oh my god, that is so cute.
ああ、誤解なきを言っておきますが、彼女が美しいのは何も外見に限った話ではなく、他者を慈しみ、思いやれる心から、しとやかな振る舞いまで全て含めてのことで。
I see. Bro, keep on talking. Talk about how much you love her. Although I didn't ask, he sees the opportunity to describe how great she was. I love that for him, and you can definitely tell how in love he is with her. Please, 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 game, do not do anything bad to John. He needs to stay with his girl.
ジャンは恋人のことを話し出すと長いので、このまま帰っていただいても大丈夫です。
I kind of want to stay a bit.
と言っても僕もジャンの恋人に会ったことはないんですが。
Huh? Really?
せっかくならとっておきの機会に紹介したいって。
Oh.
名前すら教えてくれないんです。
I see. Bro, would I have an option for this? Maybe he... Is there a reason for that, or just plain on want to be a bit secretive? I wonder who she is. Huh. Huh. He's not gonna tell me. I wonder who can make John fall so head over heels.
ジャンはああ見えて少し適当なところもあるので、それを補ってくれるしっかりとした女性なんじゃないでしょうか。
Like, the only woman character we know is Mother, and that's definitely not her, right? Yeah. I feel like if he saw her out in the open, he would definitely rant and talk about her and talk to her. And he should at least know where she lives, considering how much he talks about her. So it's not mother. So maybe unnamed woman that we might never see ever. Oh, I'm supposed to read that. Oops. Anko, are you there? I stepped into the Lycris field in search of the watchman. The only response to my query was the gentle sound of the wind stirring the flower petals.
司祭は語れないが、この国にはまだまだ死を招く花の種子が芽吹いている。この短い間に君が歩んだ軌跡は、所詮序章に過ぎないのさ。自ら命を絶つ異様な死も、理不尽によって奪われる死も、この国の呪いに蝕まれ、儚く散っていく死も、あるいは、まだ日向にすら出ていない様々な死も、何一つ解決していない。
Mathis and John. I was afraid that their futures were in danger, so I came all the way out here to ask for more details. But the person who issued that warning was nowhere to be found. Or maybe he's observing me from a distance. Burrell died, but the truth behind the other mysterious suicides have not been uncovered. Adolphe and the corpse were looking into the idea that drugs or hypnosis were used on the victims, but the fact that no reports have been made out about it suggested that they had made no progress so far. But what if we learned about Burrell's background, his objective, and his victims? What if we found out who killed Burrell? But what would Mathis do now that he was beginning to find peace? I can only imagine the worst, considering how much he loved his lost brother. If possible, I'd like to put a hold on my deal with Anko and keep watch over Mathis for a while. Then again, I'm not sure what Anko would say if I asked for that. I decided to come back on a bright moonlit night in the hopes that he would be there then. And looks like he's not, so we're kinda out back without Anko. The next day, I officially began my job as a proper maid. After Mother and the children saw me off, I arrived at the mansion a few minutes early. Oh, that's so sweet. The children are really warming up to us now, especially Milo. And I'm so happy for that. We're a bit more accepted into our household. So please don't harm the children either. Any character I see in this game now, I'm like, please don't harm them. No tragedy, no despair, nothing towards them, please. I first greeted John, then began preparing breakfast straight away. I gave a modest nod to each wealthy resident of Cheddis, passing by on their morning routine. I was relieved to find that my maid outfit did well in hiding my identity. I filled a bucket with water for the laundry. John should be cleaning the guest room and dining room around this time, as well as checking the letters that arrived today. He apologized to me for the heavy workload on the first day, but this is easy compared to the orphanage. There was never a day that my clothes stayed clean with all the children around. Right, for clothes, it's just John and Mathis in this house, and then maybe some like covers, bed sheets, stuff like that. Pretty easy. But I was actually nervous now that I was wearing clothes of such quality. I better make sure I don't get it dirty or torn while I'm working. As I mumbled words of warning to myself. Huh? A figure suddenly appeared, swiftly taking the clothes from my hands and tearing it in the process. Who the hell is this? You scared me. Mathis's face was pale, and he was glaring at me with teary eyes as he held the tattered remains. Oh, it's Mathis! Oh! I was wondering, if we're doing laundry, we're washing all of Mathis's clothing, even his underwear, and he'd definitely be embarrassed by that. That's so cute, though. Ro probably saw us from his little bedroom window upstairs, so I was like, "Oh, she's doing laundry, laundry," and he runs out like, "Oh, please don't see anything." There's torn clothes. No, was that his underwear? Mathis did his best to hide it from my sight. It's fine if I see your underwear. But we can save water if we wash all the clothes at once. Oh no, this poor child, he is trying. I mean, they're all like what, under 10, under 13, so I don't think they really care, as long as they have clean clothes. No, not really. Oh! Now that you mention it, I do recall when Adolphe adamantly told everyone that he was going to start washing his own clothes. Oh, I'm sorry. But Adolphe was busy taking care of the other children, so Mother and I washed his clothes anyway, so it didn't matter if he even said that. I'm so sorry, Claude. Mathis, I'm so sorry, buddy. Huh? A few minutes later. And so, I want to pay for Mathis's torn underwear, but before I could talk to Mathis about it, he ran upstairs and locked himself in his room. You know, the torn underwear is his fault. He could have just at least snatched it out of my hands. Like, oh, I can just wash that myself. But he really tore his underwear in front of me. Bro, I'm so glad Mathis is feeling better. I love this side of him, all shy and just hides away when things aren't going his way properly. He's innocent. You don't need to laugh. I would have laughed a bit though. I finally understood why Mathis was so flustered after John explained the reason to me. I washed all the boys' clothes at the orphanage, so I thought it was normal in other households. This single chore made me cleanly aware of the small world I had lived in until now. I gotta make it up to him. Okay. Mathis, I am sorry I didn't think about the situation. Where I am from, it is normal for me to wash all of the boys' clothing. They are children, so they probably don't really care. At his suggestion, I brewed a pot of Claude's family's favorite tea and stood in front of Mathis's room. John said that he probably wouldn't respond, and that I could head inside without permission. Even so, I thought it'd be best to attempt some communication, so I called his name a number of times to no avail. Bro, if we walk in on this man... Maybe he was trying to avoid me, or maybe he simply couldn't hear me. Odds were likely it was the former, but I was hoping it was the latter. It'd be great if he at least let me deliver this tea to him. I quietly took a peek inside. Are you okay? I'm sorry I embarrassed you. That wasn't my intention. Mound of books were all over the place. In the corner was Mathis sitting on the floor with his back facing the door. I looked closer to see him reading something with great interest. In his hand was a thick book. It seemed my earlier assumption was correct, as he was so absorbed in reading that he didn't even notice me. He's so focused. Come to think of it, he mentioned liking books. I remember him listening so intently to Sien's story about the drifter. If so, I better not bother him right now. I decide to put the tea on the table and apologize to him later. I had planned on that, but...
この香りはジョン、ありがとう。いつもの紅茶を入れてくれたんだ。
Not John, but okay. Yeah, sorry, buddy. The sweet fragrance of the tea ended up interrupting Mathis's reading session. He pleaded for me to stay, so I ended up having some tea myself, which opened up the way for us to exchange apologies.
今朝はお騒がせしました。僕、今まで家族以外の女性とろくに関わったことがなかったので、まさか異性に下着を洗われることがあんなに恥ずかしいことだなんて。
I was just doing the same work I usually do at the orphanage, so I felt bad, now that I understood the meaning behind Adolf's own words and actions back then. If I wasn't mistaken, Marlo should be around that same age now. I should ask Mother to talk to him about it. It was important to remember for the future. I think this is the first time I had such a close look at your room. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like you have more books in here than before.
すごい。ぐるっと見渡しただけでわかるんですね。
Mathis finished his cup of tea, then reached out to a book on the table. The spine had some symbols on it. There are words I couldn't understand.
これは外の国で出版された冒険談です。
Oh! Okay, so they do get stuff from other countries.
アルペシエルは鎖国されているので、正規の方法で外の世界の本を手に入れることは不可能ですが、知っての通り、この国の周囲は海流が強いので、難破船や荷物、新聞などの情報媒体、時には見たことのない海洋生物などが海岸に流れ着きます。この本もそうした習得物の中の一つ。厳密には外国語で記された原本を翻訳した写本なんですが。
I heard a lot of things drift here, but I didn't know books did too. Oh, but how is that book translated into the copy you have here? I mean, our Virche doesn't really have the resources to learn foreign languages from the outside world, does it? I wasn't even sure when translations were first introduced to Arpachelle during its isolation.
そこは出版を生りにしていた僕らクラブが担当していたんです。今は多くの権利を放棄していますが、僕も最低限の教育を終えたら、この国唯一の翻訳家として働くよう王族から命令が下るかも。
Wait, that's huge actually. Meaning, to be responsible for the future literary development of the country. That sounds really stressful.
はい。想像するだけでお腹が痛くなってきます。でも、外界の本に触れられるなら、それも悪くないかなって。外の国の本ってすごく素敵なんですよ。特に小説は。文字しかないはずなのに、読んでいるだけでこの国の周辺や遥か東方の大陸まで知識すらない未知の光景が実際に頭に浮かんでくるんです。
It sounds like a real adventure. Having an adventure is just a dream in a small country like this. I can see how nice it would be to experience the wider world through reading books. It's been a while since I've read a new book for fun.
なら、僕が気に入っているこちらの本。
Oh, that's so sweet, no!
お貸ししましょうか。
Huh? Are you sure?
はい。男性向けの冒険譚なので、
Oh, I would definitely like it.
女性の好みは分かれると思いますが、外の世界を感じ取りたいなら、この本を読むのが一番なはず。
Thank you very much. I'll let you know what I think after I finish reading it. This is the first time someone shared a book with me.
僕
Oh,
も
stop.
です。なんだかくすぐったいな。
After having a friendly chat with Mathis, I left so he could get back to his studies. I walked over to the guest room that John was cleaning and planned to report what happens when... Oh!
愛らしい
You just take a picture of me?
ありがとうございます。
I was greeted by an amused John. It seemed a flash of light came from an iron box held in his hands. Don't surprise me like that. What is that? It looks too big to be a transmitter.
これはカメラですよ。名前だけなら聞いたことがあるのでは？
Huh? That's a camera. A device used to capture images onto paper. A magical device not found among commoners. Wow. I've heard they're so valuable that people hide where they keep them.
これは数年前にちょっとしたつてで手に入れた俺の私物でして。
It seemed he was cleaning the camera after finishing his chores early. He took a picture of me just now to test the camera's functionality.
あなたが来てくれたおかげで、坊ちゃんも少しずつ明るさを取り戻されていますし、完全に立ち直られた暁には、あなたと二人穏やかに過ごしている光景を撮影させてもらいたいものですね。弟の成長を喜んで、背後にカミーユの霊が映り込むかも、なんて。
Then you also need to take good care of your camera for your own sake. If you want to take a picture of you and your girlfriend getting married, Camille may even appear to congratulate you both on your wedding day.
カミーユがここぞとばかりに
Oh.
自己主張する姿が目に浮かびます。撮影の際は俺の愛する恋人に触らないよう牽制しておかなければ。
He jokingly limited the possibility as he looked over the camera lens with care. John, if you're usually standing by here in the mansion, are you able to see your partner enough?
まあ、それなんですが、実は俺と彼女にリライバーになる意思がないと知った時、彼女のご両親に
Oh
交
shit!
際自体を反対されてしまって。
You what? Both of them?
彼女が実家で二人を説得するまで会うことができないんです。
I did not know that. Okay. How old is John? Wait, hold on, sir. Can I get your age? Your birth certificate, please? It was then that I remembered the price one had to pay to become a reliver. You mean... You're both prioritizing your love ahead of prolonging your lives. Right! Relivers. I've definitely skipped my mind for a second. But we saw last time in the general route, that couple, the guy who brought his girlfriend in to be a reliver. The one thing they can't transfer over into your new body is your previous emotions. So she had none of the love and affection for her boyfriend now that she was in a new body. So if they both become relivers, they would not have that same love and affection. They just want to continue to love each other the way they are now and just let it end like that.
はい。彼女への思いがただの記録になりさ
I respect that. I respect that.
23年という短い生を全うしようとかねてより決めていました。
Oh, I hope he gets to see her soon enough. I can't believe they're separated. And I hope he's not lying to me. Most people in this country thought about the price of becoming relivers, so it was common knowledge not to nurture feelings of love. Most relationships were like contracts, based on the premise of mutual benefit. Of course, that didn't mean couples in love didn't exist, but in the end, many prioritized extending their lives over love. So such relationships rarely lasted that long. The love and commitment shown between John and his girlfriend was extremely rare. Does Mathis know?
すでに相談し、了承も得ています。
I'm sorry, you've been stuck with me all this time. When you two are able to marry, I want you to be happy without worrying about me anymore.
とのことで。
It sounds just like Mathis to think so little of himself.
ええ、俺を自由にするというなら、もう少し頼もしくなっていただきたい。俺の両親が生きていれば、坊ちゃんのことを任せられるのですが、他に頼れる人がいない以上、いざという時は、坊ちゃんを養子にして、彼女と国中を逃げ回るし。
I think it should be fine. You don't need to adopt him. I sure hope your partner can convince her parents so it doesn't come to that. Oh, I like that. We learned a bit more about John, and it kind of scares me a little now. A few days had passed since I found out about John's relationship in an unexpected fashion. It had been a while since I was last at the March in Cohen to buy some groceries. There was one in Cheddars too, but the vegetables that Adolphe grew were sold only in this district. I feel like people aren't looking at me like I'm deaf nowadays. At least that's how it seems. Perhaps the fact that I was chasing after Barreau did it, as the stares of contempt I used to see weren't as blatant as before. But I still stood out from the crowd, so it was easy for people to notice me. Don't look at me in the bait outfit! I'm embarrassed.
まさか本当にクロード家のメイドになっていたとは。その愛らしい給仕服、とてもよく似合っていますよ。
Lucas, no, it's not your route. Do not sit there and compliment me.
同感。
You too, Eves.
質感の服なんだね。
Bro, can I get a poly route, please? Thank you very much. It's actually very comfortable, so I like it too. So what are you two doing here today?
リュカ先生からの依頼で施設に勉強道具を運ぶのを手伝った帰り。
先ほどまでヒューゴさんも共にいたのですが、イブ君が軽く咳き込んだ途端、飲み物を買ってくると走り出してしまって。
埃が喉に入っただけなんだけど、ヒューゴって俺をいくつだと思ってるんだろう。
That just means he cares about you.
帰るついでに聞き込みをする予定だったのに、あの様子だと忘れてるんじゃないかな。
Ask around about what?
この女性に見覚えはないかな。シュディで働いてるなら、そっちで見かけてる可能性の方が高いんだ。
Do not tell me it's one of the prostitutes from the beginning of the route. He took out a sketch from his pocket. Drawn on the piece of paper was a beautiful woman with pretty makeup. I don't think I've seen her before. You said she lives in Cheddars?
住んでいるというわけじゃないけど、あっちで働いていたことがあるらしくて。3日前から姿が見えないので、もし見かけたら教えてほしいって彼女の友人から頼まれたんだ。普段から住まいを転々としていたから今回もそうだろうって大ごとにはなっていないんだけど。
イブ君はどうにも放っておけず、外出の際はこうして彼女の行方を個人的に聞いて回っているそうです。
Lucas smiled, saying that he was asked the same. I see. Then I'll be on the lookout for anyone who looks like her in Cheddars.
私の住まいもシュディに近いので、 外出時には気を配っておきます。
ありがとう。助かるよ。防犯上、シュリーには住民以外立ち入り禁止の場所が多くて困ってたんだ。
イブ君たちクルーンさんには日頃からお世話になっていますからね。たまには恩返しをしなければ。
クルーンだと。
あ
なあ、君たちはもしかして少し前にブローを倒してくれたクルーンか？
え？ああ、うん。確かにブローを追っていたのは俺たちだけど。
失礼ですが、あなたは？
Lucas moved in front of me in response to the man's approach. I could see a unique mark peeking out from under his sleeve, which meant he must be a reliver.
あ、怯えさせたなら悪かった。別に君たちをどうこうしようとは思っていないから安心してくれ。俺はただお礼を言いたくて声をかけたんだ。
俺？
俺の代わりに家族の仇を取ってくれてありがとう。
Okay. Avenge. Which means bro.
ああ、数年前。
Years
最初の
ago?
兄を。本当なら俺が直接仇を取ってやりたかったん
Can
だ
we
けど、
please stop?
この衛兵にも逆らえないこんな貧弱な身じゃな。
Not his brother. Do not do that to me. Hold on, chat. I had to fix myself.
だから君たちがあいつを倒してくれたおかげで俺も憎しみの感情を捨てて心置きなくリライバーとして延命できる。
Holy shit, he had so much anger for that long. He didn't even want to be a reliver? He then gave us his thanks once more before taking his leave.
俺たちが彼を死に追いやったことで救われる人々もいる。話を聞くって約束したのにな。
イブ君、あまり気に病まないように。戻ってきたヒューゴさんにそんな顔を見られてしまったら彼の過保護が悪化してしまいますよ。
はい。
A few days later, I had finally grown accustomed to all the Claude family's tasks. After cleaning up after lunch, I took a break to read the book I borrowed from Mathis. Mathis thought this might be boring for women, but it's a really fun read. I better not let it take too much time away from work. After reading for a while, I reached the end of one adventure and began in the beginning of another. I wonder what's going to happen next. I doubt the previous story arc would just be resolved that way. I honestly didn't see it coming. I wonder what Mathis thought when he was reading it. I would love to hear his thoughts. I looked at the wall clock and saw that 15 minutes had already passed. I think Mathis should be taking a break from his studies about now. Maybe I can bring him some tea. Like any other day, I heard no response to my knocking, so I slowly opened the door. As expected, I saw him sitting at his desk. Mathis didn't notice anything around him when he was focused, so I was finally getting used to approaching him in his room. He looks a lot more focused than usual. I try to keep from surprising him. I slowly walked towards him to call his name. It was then that I noticed he wasn't reading his textbooks. Papers. Is he writing something? Wait, could it be a novel? I'm sorry. Did I scare you again? I'm so sorry, sweetie. CJ! Look, he's so precious. Don't look at what I'm writing. Nope. I saw nothing. I just came to give you tea and you were just sitting there. I did not see you writing a single thing. A little, actually. It just came into view. Out of curiosity, are you writing a novel? It didn't look like you were translating. Do you write stories too, Mathis? He must have known there was no avoiding the subject with how precise my question was. Oh.
その、はい。まだ途中までしか書いていませんが、勉強の合間を縫って。
Mathis confessed as he used his arms to cover the papers spread out before him. Huh? Early? With all those papers? Wow. So what kind of story are you writing?
この国を舞台にした冒険譚。
In Arpachelle?
外の国の冒険譚は広い世界を巡る物語ばかりですけど、狭い国の中を冒険するのもそれはそれで新鮮で面白いんじゃないかなって。
That's wonderful. Arpachelle is a country that's feared by its own citizens. So it sounds fun to have some kind of hope and a story about it. Can you tell me anything about the characters? Mathis is shaking, calmed down for a moment, as I carefully picked up some of the papers that had fallen to the floor.
口で説明するのは少し難しいので、直接
Yes?
見ますか?
Are you sure? I carefully read the words that Mathis crafted onto each page. There are two main characters in his stories. One was male, and the other was female. A curse upon the land took away their loved ones. The story went on to tell of an adventure where they and their friends worked together to defeat death itself.
死神って言ってもあなたのことじゃないですよ。
I understand, but ends when things are just getting interesting. Have you written more after this part?
まだ考えている最中なんです。土台は用意しているんですが、ありきたりな展開になってしまう気がして。例えば、二人の仲間になるリライバーの男性が迎える結末が。
Don't tell me. I want to read that once the story's finished. As I covered my hands with my ears, Mathis looked surprised by my level of interest. You have a gift for writing immersive novels, Mathis.
いえ、僕なんか兄さんに比べたらまだまだ。
Your brother wrote novels too.
はい。小さい頃、自分で作った物語を読み聞かせてくれました。そのほとんどが主人公である兄さんが悪い敵を倒していく冒険譚でしたけど。
It sounds like he had an impact on you.
やっぱり兄弟ですから。このお話の続きがどうしても気になるなら、いっそ僕と一緒に
What?
完成させてみませんか?
Huh? According to Mathis, he seemed to hit a rut every so often, as he worked on making the story more compelling.
だから一緒に考えてくれたらすごく助かるんですが。
I was overjoyed by his offer, but are you sure? I've never written a story in my life.
はい、いいんです。いえ、あなたがいいんです。
As I considered his request, Mathis continued.
あなたとならきっとこの先どんな展開になったって僕はこの物語を笑顔で書き進めることができる気がするんです。
Since his request, I had been helping Mathis with the story during our spare time as I continued working as a maid. I was nearing the gate as I thought about how to finish the work that remained for the day when...
あら、あの子、クロード家の新しい使用人かしら。
そうみたいよ。この間もお屋敷に入ると
Please do not gossip about me.
でも相変わらず新しいご当主は見かけないわね。
新しいご当主って二人目の息子さん？
ええ。でもめったに外には出ないそうよ。
私は息子さんが二人いたことも知らなかったわ。
Hello?
執事さんは社交的な人なのにね。あんな暗い子が当主だなんて、クロード家は大丈夫なのかしら。
Of course there's gossip about Mathis. I picked up some of the conversation between the Chinese woman watching me. I wondered how long people had been saying such things about this family.
その案すごくいいです。僕は街の中で動くことばかり考えていたけれど
Mathis didn't deserve their gossiping. In fact, he was a kind and gentle person who could smile as brightly as this. Well, since we're surrounded by the Lycris fields, we might as well use it.
あ、ならあの花畑の地下深くに死神たちが住む冥界への入り口があって
Mathis kept writing his thoughts onto a notepad for his story.
やっぱりあなたと一緒だと今まで以上に小説を書くのが楽しいです。筆が進みすぎてなんだか手首が痛くなってきました。
はいはい。それなら今日のところはもう執筆をやめましょう。無我夢中になって気づいていないでしょうが、もうとっくに日が落ちていますよ。
Huh? Oh shoot! If I stayed any longer, Mother would be worried. Mathis, I'm so sorry to stop in the middle of this, but maybe we can pick it up tomorrow. Is he already docked out? Wait, what? I only noticed now that Mathis was face down on the table, sound asleep.
まあ、坊ちゃんは夜更かしが苦手なので、この時間帯になると自然と眠ってしまうんです。ベッドには俺が運んでおきますから、あなたは少しでも早く帰宅されてください。
I will. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. I quickly walked through the mostly empty streets. I then saw a couple of women walking toward me from up ahead. As I passed them,
ねえ、外に出れたら何がしたい？
やりたいことなら山ほどあるわよ。でも一番はやっぱ
ええ、こんな呪われた国での立場なんて忘れて、
oh,
綺麗な体で自由な人生を送り直すこと。
the sound of footsteps mingled with the whispers from the beautiful flowers in bloom. Whispers that gently flowed into my ears. Chapter 2!
「男は言う。苦しいほど君のことを愛してる。女は応じた。あなた、趣味が悪いわね。男は笑った。 ああ、自分でもそう思う。だが仕方ない。好きなものは好きなんだ。女は困った。私がこの国を呪う死神のような性悪だったらどうするの？なーに、その時は。
Oh shit. I have auto
俺
on.
も
I'm so sorry,
君と
chat.
一緒に悪役になって差し上げますよ。
Other. I'm actually... Hold on, let me save. I am actually going to end it here. A bit of a short stream today. I do have some other things I need to do to finish preparing for the birthday stream on Wednesday. But when I continue streaming Mathis's route next week on Monday, will definitely be a longer stream. I just wanted to get a bit into his route, and it's pretty good so far. I am very, very concerned. It started off depressing as hell. His parents are worse than I expected. We understand much more why his brother is like his light, why he was so like not bright after his brother died, so depressed and angry and all of that stuff. But it looks like we got Mathis out of his little depressive state after Burrell's untimely death, and Mathis not be able to get revenge on him. Everything is going well, too well so far. We learned a bit more about John. He has a fiance, but he can't see her because they both don't want to be relivers. Because if they do become relivers, their love and affection for each other would just be gone, and they don't want that to happen. They want to spend as much time as they can with each other as humans, and then if they die, then at least they died loving each other, which is pretty sweet, honestly, and kind of sad at the same time. But yeah, that is it for today's stream. Next one would be Wednesday, which is my 12-hour birthday stream. I have a lot of stuff planned for that day, so hopefully you guys can stop by for just a little bit to enjoy all the festivities. I cannot wait for that one. Pray for me staying up for 12 hours entertaining you guys. Yeah, but that's it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye!